I guess Bill is a person who needs no introduction. So just one question before we start is, do you prefer for questions to be live, questions to be typed, or questions for people to ask you after you're done?
Yeah, drop the questions in the chat window on this Zoom and I'll let you know I see it, and then I'll answer them in stride. I think that's the best way.
Sounds great. So Bill, what can you tell us about the GoBridge mentoring program?
Well, I think because there's 31 people here, everybody's looking to become a mentor. I'm so excited. Is anybody a mentor already? Just type in the chat window if I can get a general sense of somebody's already mentoring, because we need mentoring. Anderson said he did it already. Awesome. So in the 20 minutes that I have, let's see what time it is. It's 28 minutes after the hour. Just going to take 20 minutes. I want to give you a brief story about where this whole thing came from, why we need these mentors. I'll show you a little bit of the websites that we purchased for a year. But I think we're looking for maybe another platform. I'll explain why when you see it. I don't want that to make you hesitate at all, but let's just talk about what's going on here. All right, I was mentoring somebody. So, Ole, yeah, so we've had a couple of people, but the community really needs mentors. So last year, I sent out a couple of tweets saying that if you need a mentor, reach out to me and I'll do my best to connect you. Because I had a couple of people who had come to me wanting to mentor, and I knew it wasn't going to be a problem finding a mentee, but I threw the tweet out there. And then for 3 weeks, literally, and 100 people later, I was manually matchmaking everybody using email as a way of trying to keep track of all it. I mean, we all have full-time jobs, so I don't have time to do much more than use email folders. And I realized how crazy the demand was for people looking for mentors. And then I really found out that if I reached out to enough people, I could get mentors to match with these people who needed it. So from that experience, I decided that what we needed to scale this out was some sort of system that would allow people to register. And then hopefully they could match with each other. That way I'm kind of out of it and we can kind of do this a little bit more at scale. And after doing some research on the different platforms that are already out there, I settled on one from a company called Cooper, which I'll show you in a second. Now, I really liked Cooper. The company is good. The people there are great. They worked with us with pricing. They worked with us some flexibility. But the system does do a little bit more than we need. And so I want to stress that what we're really trying to do with the system is just try to match people together. Okay. So that's the thing. Now, normally the question that I get from everybody is, what level of experience do I have to be to already be a mentor? Let's say I decide to mentor. What am I supposed to do with this person? How does this work? How long am I, like, and some of these questions I do ask on the intake form when you're signing up. But let me at least just try to kind of break down some of the basic questions. And this would also be a good time if you have questions about related to being a mentor or mentee and expectations and things. If I miss anything, definitely please ask the question, because I want to spend that time covering them. I want to convince all of you in this meetup at some level to become a mentor and help. I think we've got about 170 people right now looking for a mentor, at least in the system. And I have not sent another tweet out because I don't want that number to grow without being able to fulfill some more of the demand. And I've mentored people for years. So what I'm going to be telling you is kind of coming from my experience. The first thing is I wouldn't try to mentor more than 2 people at a time. I don't care how experienced you are. I'd much prefer that you start with 1 person. Now, don't feel like you need to be an expert in a language or expert in a tech or even, let's say, necessarily intermediate, because there are different levels of mentees that I'm seeing. There are some that are really just starting out, And then there are some that are looking for expert type of mentorship because they're also at some level intermediate and experts. And so I've met people who says, I don't want to mentor beginners. I can't do that. I'm looking for people who are more advanced. And then you have the complete opposite. You don't feel like you're advanced enough, and then you want that person that may be starting out. I'm telling you, we have people from that entire range right now that are looking for help. You can also, Kareem asked a great question. I want to be both a mentor and a mentee. You absolutely can do that. The only problem on the Cooper system that we have is you got to create 2 separate accounts. Kind of a bummer. One for a mentor and one for a mentee. So if you want to do that, you'll need 2 email addresses. But you absolutely can do that. Don't hesitate in that case. Once you decide you want to be a mentor, there's going to be an intake form that you're going to fill out. The mentee fills it out. I think there's about 6 questions in the form. We could look at those questions in a second. And I'm just trying to get a general idea of what you're looking for, what they're looking for, so you can find someone that's fairly compatible. We'll ask about time zones. We'll ask about things like that. Once you match with somebody, what's the next step? Well, the next step for me is to get out of the matching system and to get on your email or to get on Slack or however you want to communicate with this person and have try to have an initial 20-minute, 30-minute conversation on Zoom or Meet or whatever your platform is. Get to see them in the face, look at them, have a real conversation about what they're looking to achieve, and then you have to make sure it's in line with what you want to do and what you want to teach and what you want to go. So it's kind of like a meet and greet with some form of a negotiation about how this is going to work. And I really don't want you as a mentor putting more than 4 hours a week in at all. Like 4 hours a week is actually a lot of time. And that 4 hours a week could be assigning programs for them to write and then you reviewing them. It could be little homework assignments like that. It could be looking at projects that they're working on already. It could be anything that is going to help that mentee grow in a kind of the way they want to without it being a huge burden on you as well, where it can be this also asynchronous relationship after that. I mean, I would love for you to get back on a Zoom once a month and do that, but don't feel like you got to structure it in a way where it's asynchronous. And I would expect about 4 hours a week. The other thing you're negotiating is time. So I will ask you on the intake form, are you willing to do this for 2 months or 3 months or 4 months? And the mentee will ask the same thing. And you're not going to have a 100% match. So these are the things, the intake form is a good place to kind of start when you're not 100% on board with that. I do think 2 months is probably better than just 1. And I think if you're having a good experience, you might even just throw another month in there. But I think 2 to 3 months is usually good with one person. And then you could easily say, you know, we've done this together, and you can go right back into the system and find someone else. And by the way, if you have that interview with the person and you both realize, or one of you realize that this isn't going to be a match, it's totally okay. Like, don't take that personally, right? You just say, okay, we're going to unmatch, and then you go and you look for someone else. And it's the same thing. If you reach out to somebody, because right now I think only mentors can reach out to mentees. I didn't want to do it the other way. So when you're a mentor, you don't have to worry about anybody bombarding you. You're going to reach out to who you want to work with. And I tell everybody as well, if you send that initial email and you don't get anything back in a week, unmatch, start over. It's all good. Unmatch. You can even tell me, you know, this person didn't reach out, and then I can go and see what's going on with them. We want to keep them in the system or not. So these are just little things that I hope they don't happen, but they may happen to you as you decide to go down this path. Also, I have a lot of material that you can use if you're unsure, and both sides are kind of unsure what you want to do. I've got algorithms and exercises and unit tests, and we've got exorcism. We've got the Go challenges, and we've got all of this stuff. So if you decide to engage and you're like, what do I do next? You say, Bill, give me some stuff here, and I'll send you a lot of good stuff that will let you get that process going. Let me do a couple things here. Let me show you the two systems and we'll look at those questions real quick. I'm gonna share my screen. Oh, Ole, you gotta give me the ability to share. And let me do that. I don't expect to be able to find 170 people overnight, but I do hope that maybe by the end of the year, we could really fulfill as many of those seats as possible. All right, can I share now? Let me see here. No, I need to be able to share. While we're fixing that, another thing I'm doing with a company actually in Berlin. Oh my God, what's the name of the company? Natalie, who is Rona working for in Berlin? Oh my goodness, I'm gonna remember. They actually have a program at the company that will allow employees to do this form of mentoring during the workday. So that company's pretty amazing. So that 4 hours a week doesn't have to necessarily be 4 extra hours a week that you're looking for. That they allow them. Oh, Delivery Hero, thank you. So Delivery Hero is awesome, and they're really about community and being out there and helping. And they'll let. And this program is now part of the Delivery Hero system. So those 4 hours can be done during the work week, which is even better. So, you might want to go and ask your I'm going to answer that question in a second. You might want to go and ask your company, do you have these types of programs? I'd like to, and it might not even just be mentoring. It might be something else that you want to do that can help someone in the community. And, ask your company, is it okay for the next 2 months if I take 4 hours a week to go and do this? And I wouldn't be surprised if they said yes, right? Because you're doing something great. So Delivery Hero has kind of got those programs in place. Bill, I want to ask about do's and don'ts as a mentor. Do you have a very specific do or don't? I can tell you this is not a dating site, right? This isn't about that, even though we've got profiles and matching and stuff like that, right? I mean, so don't do it for that. The reason you want to do this is because you want to share what you know with someone else and help them improve in their career. All right, I mean, that's the real goal. And if someone is not doing the exercises, they're not doing the things, they're not being a good mentee, don't get upset and frustrated. Just say, hey, you know what, this isn't working out, and I'm gonna go and look for someone else. It's never personal. That's the big thing. It's never personal. So just the biggest do's is be there. Oh, okay, perfect. The biggest do is just be there for them, create that, set all the expectations up front, create an environment where you can be asynchronous, try to get those questions answered that they have, let them feel like they're important. And the don'ts is, again, just you want to lay back, everything has to be positive encouragement, and just really trying to help somebody, from my perspective, in their career, so they can get the next best job, they can get the next position in their company. Hopefully they can get a little bit more money too, just because they know more. All right, let me share that screen. Keep the questions coming if you have them. Actually, I can do everything here. Let's see. All right, assuming that everybody can see this, and I've got my chat window. I don't know if the chat window shows up, so if it does, then there it is. Okay. There is a URL redirect called mentoring.gobridge.org. I just put that on the chat. Oh wait, that went directly to, oh wait, so that's not good. Hold on. I gotta send that to everybody. There we go. All right. All right, mentoring.gobridge.org. Now when you type mentoring.gobridge.org, you're gonna be taken to this website right here. Now, this is just an initial kind of navigation page, and I do recommend that everybody stay on the browser. I didn't do anything with the mobile apps and have them branded or anything like that. On some of your phones that are in a mobile mode, unfortunately, you're not going to see this text, which is a bummer, because in order to register as a mentor, you've got to use this code right here. I'm going to type it in the chat. So to be a mentor, you need this code called Go-Tour, and that will give you the right intake form and set up your account. If you want to be a mentee, and this is why you need the 2 accounts, you're going to use GoT. So if I were to say signing in on the web, it's going to ask me to, I don't know what's wrong with their site today, so assuming that that's going to work. That's going to then go and ask you to create an account. It's going to ask you for one of those codes. And then you're going to go through the intake process, which I'm going to try to show you on the admin side here, because their site is super slow today. I don't know what's going on. This is the homepage of Cooper, if you're just looking at the product that we chose. But here's the admin side. This is the side that I kind of get to see. And if you look here, up here in the corner, we've matched 223 people. We still have 173 people that are looking for mentors. So at the moment you sign up, you're going to have an opportunity to see these people. And I can even manually match people, but the whole point here is that somebody else is coming in and looking for someone they want to help. Now, one of the things I did want to show you, if their site is going to let me, okay. I'm going to show you on this side because I don't know what's wrong with their platform today. But some of the questions that I ask, basic profile, first name, last name, small bio. So as a mentor, you'll be able to see these things. You'll get their small bio. You'll get to read a little bit about what they expect to gain in the program. You're looking for some, that synergy or that person that you think is going to match best. Right now, I am opening it up to both Go and Kubernetes, though I haven't really gone into the Kubernetes communities yet, or the CNCF, I think it's called. But there may be people who just want to learn Kubernetes, and that's okay. So right now, I've got those 2 technologies listed. Engagement is the next question here. And essentially, the mentee will say what they're looking for in terms of time, and you'll also say, you'll get to multi-select as a mentor what you're looking at. These are the things I want you to look at as you're going through the profiles. Experience level. So here, the mentee will say what they are in that particular tech right now. They're fundamental, they're intermediate, they're advanced. They may be experts, just looking for somebody to have an engineering conversation with. I can't tell you how many people I know who are great engineers, but they're completely alone in their job. They're alone at work, and they just want somebody to be able to just have an engineering conversation. And that could be somebody who's an intermediate or experienced level in a tech looking for that. And if that's something that's interesting to you, I mean, for sure, there are going to be people like that out there looking for that. All right, time zone's a big one. I kind of tried to group the time zones a little bit based on the way I traveled all over the planet for a few years. So I didn't use like traditional time zones. So you could see Russia, Middle East, India, Europe, APAC, America, Africa. If you feel like there's one missing that really doesn't fit into this group, just let me know. But this also gives you the ability, if you only want to work with someone who's within kind of the same time zone as you, you'll have that option. Now, this is the one that people always ask me about. And this was a really hard kind of question to put together. And the question around demographics. When I was matching people manually, I had met people who said, I only want to work with a person of color. I only want to work with somebody in this community. And I've got communities here that I'm missing, I'm sure. So if there is a community here that you only want to focus on, which is totally fair, it's absolutely fair. I can add that to this list as well. So this is here as well. All right, and these are like the intake questions that you'll see when you come in and you sign up. Oh, okay. So you can see here on this page now that it's loaded up, it's asking for the invite code. So I've given you the Go-Tour, Go-T, and then you'll be able to submit that and then go through a process. I don't know what's going to happen. Let me see what happens. It's been a while since I did it. Go-Tour. submit. All right, email address and passwords, and you can see my LastPass is coming up and all that good stuff. So don't do anything now. And I already have an account, but then you'll create an account, and then you'll go through those questions, and then you'll be able to start looking through the 173 people that we have right now looking for a mentor. So hopefully we'll do that. I'm going to stop the share right now. So in the chat window, I gave you the mentoring.gobridge.org URL to get to that page. I've given you the 2 codes. I really would love to see a bunch of people from this talk just jump in. Even if you're not 100% sure, register for an account. Look at the people that are there. See if there's anyone that's super interesting to you that maybe you think you can really, really help. You should be able to see all of their answers to their questions. So you may not get necessarily Berlin, you'll see Europe, but during the initial, you select somebody, ask them that, ask them where in Europe they are. What I don't want is you to feel like once you select somebody, you're stuck. You're not at all. Have the conversation and just say, you know what, I don't think I'm the right mentor for you. That's all you have to say. I don't think I'm the right mentor for you. And that other person will completely understand, right? It's never personal. But when you find that right person and you put in that time, you're changing somebody's life. I can just tell you that right now. You're changing somebody's life for the better. And it's the best 4 hours, use of 4 hours a week that I can think of. All right, Natalie, I think I got my 20 minutes in. Tried to make my pitch. We'll see how many people sign up after this.
Thank you very much for that.
Any other.
Yeah, you seem to have answered all of them right away. The link is also on our Slack and Twitter now, so if anybody didn't catch it now, you can still find it.
And then if anybody has any issues, bill@gobridge.org, and you can always email support@gobridge.org as well for anything related to anything GoBridge is doing or Go community related. We'll try to jump in and help.
Copy the email to our Slack as well.
Sweet. Well, I really appreciate you having me here to talk about this and to show a little bit behind the scenes what's going on. And I need as much feedback as I can get. And if anybody's interested actually in maybe helping on the GoBridge side, on the administration side with mentoring, you don't feel like I'm ready to mentor, but I have some experience and I'd rather help on the admin side. I need help. I mean, I would love to have somebody go through these lists and try to do some manual matches, right? There's an opportunity there to maybe bring people together. We can do that in the system. I'm also starting to maybe look for a different system because we really just need some better matching technology than a lot of what Cooper's doing. So if you're interested in helping on the administration side, just send me an email. There's a lot we can do to help promote and match people that are not getting matched. And it's just a matter, again, 4 hours a week. Give me 4 hours a week and we can change the world. All right. That's the way it is.
So everybody who responded that they can try or are interested, please email Bill to the address in the chat.
All right. Thanks, Igor. All right. You mentioned before, Bill, that you have resources on Go for Mentors. Can you share that? I think I can. Give me a second. I keep it in my Mac notes just for this. So actually, okay. If you were to ask me for materials, I would probably initially send you all of that. There it is. And you can drop that on your Slack as well. This will give you a really great starting point for teaching material exercises, more advanced exercises, algorithm, give you even other ideas that you can throw in there. The algorithms folder we're constantly adding to. Do need some more tests in certain areas there that we'll get to. And the Go challenges was something that was done back in 2015, I think. You need that zip file for the first challenge because the link is broken. But there's great, like really complicated, I mean, technically challenging exercises there to try to work on. Bill, location mentors can give advice on potential employers. It's valuable to them. I agree. Not every mentee is looking for a job. I mean, not every mentee is looking for a job. Not every mentee is necessarily looking for somebody local either. And that's why you want to look at their bio and why I ask on the intake, what is it that you're looking to get? And look at those initial 3 or 4 seconds, because I think that will really give you a good idea of if what they want to get out of it is in line with what you want to give. Okay, Natalie, I think that's it.
Thank you very much again.